With an estimated worth of $6.5 billion, Howard Hughes, known as the Insane Billionaire, was one of the most influential and successful business tycoons in the world. Let's dig deep into Howard's life to know how he spent his billion-dollar fortune. Howard Hughes was the jack of all trades. An investor, a pilot, a film director/producer, a philanthropist, and an engineer. He was the son of Howard Robert Hughes, a successful inventor and founder of Hughes Tool Company, who revolutionized the petroleum drilling industry by inventing a two-cone roller bit. This invention drove extensive wealth to the family. Hughes exhibited an early interest in science and technology. He had exceptional engineering skills, and at the age of 11, he constructed Houston's first cordless radio transmitter and later became one of Houston's first certified ham radio operators. Hughes gained fame at the age of 12 for building a powered bicycle using spares from his father's steam engine. He enjoyed mathematics, aviation, and mechanics. At the age of 14, he used to play golf every day. It is reported that one day when he was playing, a flight flew over his head. Impressed by it, he went to the pilot and convinced him to give him a flying lesson for $100 per day. In 1921, he enrolled at Fessenden School in Massachusetts to become a certified pilot. Later, to study aeronautical engineering, Hughes attended America's finest technological college, Caltech. Hughes' parents died when he was studying in Caltech. His mother died in 1922 and his father in 1924, just after 2 years. He inherited 75% shares of his father's Hughes Tool Company, making him the youngest millionaire of his time at the age of 19. Hughes dropped out of college to take control of his father's business. Hughes didn't know much about his father's business. He found himself unwanted at Hughes Tool Company, so he decided to let others run the company. While Hughes Tool Company gave him huge profits, it was Hollywood and the entertainment industry that swiftly drew his attention, excitement, and money. He relocated to Los Angeles and followed his passion project of movie making. He started investing profits from his family business in filmmaking. Hughes spent millions of dollars earned on 26 movies during his lifetime. One of Hughes' films, Two Arabian Nights, was a great hit and also won Academy Awards. Hughes became a celebrity as a result of his on-screen exploits. His most renowned and controversial movie was the action movie Hell's Angels, based on World War I. Hughes was a perfectionist. He recklessly spent millions on this movie. It was one of the costliest films made during those days. Hughes had to pay compensation to pilots who died while filming. As a producer, he spent around $4 million. Though it was a box office hit, it failed to recover its production costs. Hughes then produced Scarface. Its 1932 release was delayed by censors to change violent and brutal scenes. In the end, it was a huge hit. Later, Hughes spent a huge amount on the production of the movie The Outlaw in 1943. He also directed the movie. The illicit clothing of actresses in the movie was responsible for censors. It was a lengthy battle between Hughes and the Hays office. He acquired RKO Enterprises by purchasing 929,000 shares for a record price of $9 million. The inflation-adjusted value of it is around $30 million in modern times. This acquisition included RKO Pictures, RKO Studios, a chain of movie theaters known as RKO Theaters, and a network of radio stations known as the RKO Radio Network. Hughes sold the studio to the General Tire and Rubber Company for $25 million 6 months later. Hughes was passionate about the aviation industry. He spent half of his fortune on the construction of aircraft for personal use as well as setting new records. In 1932, he started Hughes Aircraft Company as a division of Hughes Tool Company. While running Hughes Aircraft in Glendale, California, he established many world records and spent millions on the construction of special aircraft for himself. The Hughes H-1 Racer was the most technologically significant aircraft he made. Hughes was a lover of speed. As money was not a matter, he purchased a luxury steam yacht named the Rover in 1933. In 1935, he flew the H-1 across his test track at Santa Ana, California. He achieved the land plane airspeed record of 352 miles per hour. He spent $9 million to take over Trans World Airlines in 1939. During World War II, Hughes Aviation Company was a major military contractor. Under his leadership, the aircraft company introduced flying into the mainstream through growth and massive aircraft productions. Hughes Aircraft grew to be a major American aerospace and defense contractor. His company was indulged in producing a wide range of tech products like spacecraft vehicles, radar systems, electrical systems, laser systems, and many more. During these years, the Hughes Aircraft Company grew multifold. Hughes shifted his concentration to military aircraft during World War II, and his business received many government contracts. Hughes spent $24 million on the production of the world's largest flying boat, the H-4 Hercules. With the longest wingspan, H-4 Hercules was completed after the World War. Due to his severe obsession with perfection, his aircraft productions were also delayed, just like his movies. Hughes spent millions of dollars bribing the officials to support his delays and advocate for him. In 1953, Howard Hughes donated all of his Hughes Aircraft Company shares to Howard Hughes Medical Institute, transforming the aerospace and defense contractor into a tax-exempt charity organization. Since 1947, Hughes had decreased public appearances and went into complete seclusion. He spent days and months living privately. He denied appearing in court for the antitrust TWA lawsuit. In 1966, he sold his shares for more than $500 million. Hughes used the $500 million he got from the sale of Trans World Airlines into hotels, casinos, golf courses, a television station, an airport, and many properties in Las Vegas, Nevada. Hughes purchased 1,200 acres in Culver City for Hughes Aircraft, another 4,480 acres in Tucson, and approximately 25,000 acres outside of Las Vegas, both for his Falcon missile plant. One of the insane spendings of Hughes was the purchase of the Desert Inn Hotel. He refused to leave his room at the Desert Inn and instead opted to buy the entire property. Hughes spent an estimated $300 million expanding his financial empire. He purchased Las Vegas real estate, hotels, and media outlets. He used his tremendous influence and contacts to take over many of the well-known properties in Las Vegas, even those associated with organized crime. He swiftly rose to become one of the most prominent men of Las Vegas. This turned the image of Las Vegas. He played an important role in transforming the image of Las Vegas from a mafia world to a polished cosmopolitan metropolis. He also purchased renowned hotels like the Sands, Frontier, Silver Slipper, Castaways, Landmark, and Harold's Club in Reno by spending around $200 million. By doing so, Hughes became Nevada's largest employer. Howard Hughes is also believed to have connections to Richard Nixon and Watergate scandal. In 1960, Howard Hughes gave a bribe of $205,000 to Richard Nixon. He died in 1976 and left around $2.5 billion worth of estate, which equates to $11 billion in present-day value. He died without a will, and just like his life, his death also sparked a row for claiming the inheritance of Hughes' money. Approximately 400 people claimed his inheritance. This is how the insane billionaire Howard Hughes lavishly lived and spent his fortune. Hope you enjoyed the video. Share it with your friends who would love to know more about Howard Hughes, the insane billionaire. Subscribe to our channel and click the notification icon so that you don't miss out on such interesting topics.